So without any further ado, let's give it up for Mr. Terry Nichols.
My turn. Give yourselves another hand. Yeah, man. Okay. It's important to acknowledge yourself. Okay? How do you think we're going to get world peace?
You're going to tell us.
One person at a time.
Right here. Without inner peace, you cannot have world peace. Native Americans have a saying, you cannot give what you do not have.
Yes.
And if you have trouble believing that, ask anybody who has been in 3 marriages or more. They don't have love for themselves. They can't give love, and therefore they can't hold love. Those are repetitive behaviors. Now, I'd like you to all think about my cool little prop here. Take a moment and think about fresh baked bread. The smell of fresh baked bread. Immediately, you have the smell in mind. Huh? Immediately. You may not have the memory associated with it, but you have that smell. Okay? And once you have the memory and the smell, then it becomes even more poignant. Okay? Now, where am I going with this? Of the 5 senses, smell is the #1 recall for memory. Smell. Okay? And when we smell something, we always trigger, positively or negatively, but you trigger. There are no good memories, there are no bad memories, they're simply memories. How we react to them determines where we're going to go from that. Now, everyone is born with a predetermined personality. And as we grow, we become witness to various stimuli that affect the way we look at the world and how we will act and react in it. Okay? So, what if you're a young baby, pre-language, and a significant emotional event occurs around you? Not necessarily to you, but around you. And you react to that highly emotional event. You don't know why. You have no language skills to ask mom and dad why it just scared the hell out of you. Right? So a protection system clicks in the back of your brain because you have become witness to something you don't know how to file away. Okay? And your brain, without a little help, don't know where to put the file either. So an event happens in there. This is not a disease or anything, nothing's broken. Amnesia starts protecting that memory and your ability to remember it. Okay, it protects it from you. All right, that's a good thing. Now, if you're young enough, you're still pre-language, and this protection clicks in. What it does is it takes the neural pathway back to that section of the brain where that memory is stored, and unfortunately all the other memories are stored around it, and cuts it off. Not physically, but it blocks it. We call that an active block. And as we get older, I'll throw some numbers out there. How about terrible 2s? All right? And feisty 4s. And liar 6s. Okay? They're there. They're real. And this deflection system, this block, learns how to not only protect you, but now deflect you to other events that are occurring in your life. Now, we're emotional units. We are going to witness or become witness to emotional events all our lives. We're even going to learn how to die when it comes. Those are all high emotional events, okay? But they're not all bad. Like I mentioned earlier, there are no good memories or no bad memories. They're simply memories. The good, you know, we kind of like those memories of our marriages and our weddings, the birth of a child. I only got to do that one once, but that's okay. I steal my friends' children and adopt them as my grandchildren, so I get around that. Now, this is a good one for you. Who has ever, raise your hand, who has ever made a New Year's resolution on New Year's Eve? Come on, right? Now keep your hands up if you broke that resolution before you went to bed that night. Or within a couple of days thereafter, right? And the resolution could be anything. It doesn't have to be weight or smoking or drinking or any of those. It can literally be anything, okay? So now, who's done it the next year, it's New Year's Eve, and you're gonna try it again, okay? This time, I'm gonna lose the 40 pounds. I know this one personally. This time, I'm gonna lose 40 pounds, and before the night's out, I have this massive breakfast with all of my friends. Okay, now I've done this twice. And the reason why I say it this way is when the human mind makes a conscious decision to do something or not do something and fails to do it 2 or more times is a repetitive behavior. Okay? Now, once that repetitive behavior has become part of your subconscious, that little bitty amnesic block back there grabs hold of that. Okay? That is a really good deflection device that part of your brain, that part of your history, will use to protect you. That could be good news, but it's more bad news than it is good news. Okay? For me, I'll take you back to the summer of 2009. I was 28 stories up on the condo building where I live. My toes were on the edge of the roof. Okay? And I was as calm as I am right now. I was done. There's no more thinking. There's no crying. There's no being emotional. Fuck it. I'm done. Okay? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, behind me, I hear this voice as clear as I'm speaking to you now. Turn around, I have work for you. I turned around. There's nobody there. I heard that voice. I can hear it right now. It was real. It still is. Turn around, I have work for you. 6 months later, I created the question and answer sequence now known as repetitive behavior cellular regression. So how's this work? It helps a person use their 5 senses to inventory a memory, one at a time, 3 memories. And by doing so, we'll go back to a memory. Everybody in here can relate to this one. One of those memories, remember when on the lake. God, that was fun. You have one of those memories. It's not good, it's not bad. It's a neutral memory that becomes good or bad. Okay? Now, where am I going with this? If that memory has the story attached to it, it also has the emotions attached to it. And if it's a bad story, it's bad emotions. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
And if it has good memories and emotions to it, it's a good memory. Now, if you take that memory and freeze frame it so it is no longer a memory, it's a photograph in your mind. Photographs don't move. Photographs don't have stories. Okay? If there's no motion in a memory, there's no emotion in the memory, okay? And if there's no emotion, there's no ego asking questions. This leaves you at a point in the center called presence. Presence is the point where manifestation becomes action, okay? I take my practitioners, I have 48 of them in 18 countries, so there's a few of us. We take our clients through 3 of these memories, and what we do is, in the first memory, they have their eyes closed, so they're not looking around. They're fully present with what the person is saying, all right? And if you're not checking the clock or looking at the time or who just called you on your phone, you're absolutely present with what you're hearing over Zoom. Now, please describe for me, one thing at a time, what do you smell right now in that memory? No emotion, no emotion, no fear, no ego. I smell this, I smell that. I smell this, I smell that. Perfect example of this is one of my clients was on the edge of a dock on the lake where she was spending the summer with her grandma and granddad. Okay? So the memory is sitting on that dock. All right? Now there's certain things that I would expect that person to smell when they describe what do you smell in this memory. Okay? I smell fish. That's probably good. I smell motorboat oil. Yep, I can get with that. I smell popcorn. Okay, what else do you smell? Cotton candy. That's not at a lake. Okay, that's a deflection. The block is deflecting how you're going through the memory. So we track that. We track different things in a memory that's missing, odd, or can't be remembered. Okay? Now, this client spent the first 3 of her second through 6th summer at the lake with grandma and grandpa. All right? Think back when you're a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old. There is not a stone anywhere around that place that you don't know. Probably haven't even touched. Okay? There is nothing that they can't remember. But yet, they can't remember. But they can remember different things that come to mind that are not associated with the memory. Okay? So we as practitioners will make notes of that, and then we'll ask them, this is a sequence, so it's always in the same order. Now please describe for me, what do you taste? All right? On the dock, at this point, she's 2 years old. On the dock, and what is she doing on the end of the dock by herself? You might want to ask yourself that. What is she doing there by herself at 2 years old on the end of a dock at a lake? Not a good situation. And where is she getting carnival smells out on the lake? So there's things there that don't make sense. Then there's 2 questions that we ask around sight. One of them is, in no particular order, what do you see in the memory right now? So I see the dock. I see the motorboat. I see the fishing boat. I see a fishing pole beside me on the pier. So there's certain things that we as practitioners would expect that person to see. All right? And when they get around to this side, the second sight question is now look at all the way around you using the clock as reference. So 9 o'clock on the clock is your left shoulder. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, all the way around you. Tell me what you see, 1 clock position at a time. This client could see nothing but black in the middle of the day. Nothing but black going down the left side of her memory. She couldn't see anything over there, it was black. But yet, from straight ahead of her, all the way around to here, she had perfect memory, perfect locations that made sense. What's the black part? Okay? That can't be remembered information. So we write that down. And when we're finished, we've asked 9 questions about the 5 senses. And then, depending on how much detail the client uses in any one of the 5 senses, that determines where they're going to go back further in time from where this memory is. And whatever sense that we thought they had the most responses from, which is not necessarily sight. Very seldom sight in the first memory, okay? We then ask them, go back in time to any random memory, and when you get there, tell me how you're located in the memory. You're sitting up, standing, laying across the grass, wherever you are, and let's say it was touch. Tell me what you're touching, okay, in no particular order. So, she was 2, she went back in time to 1 year old, first time at Grandma and Grandpa's lodge up on the lake, and she was touching a ball. I can get that. 1 year old, touching a ball, makes sense, all right? Then she went about everything that she was touching that she was aware of, okay? Now, she was sitting on the picnic table the side seats of the picnic table. She did not reference that, that she was seating on there at all. In other words, you know, she was touching the seat, but she was not acknowledging that she was touching the seat. And with touch, you would expect that she might be aware of, I'm struggling with this, excuse me, I'm tired. She might have an awareness of, she could be touching something on the table, maybe she's eating or doing something like that. And when she went through all of the 2 questions with the touch, she did not refer to herself at all. And now we're in 2 memories with different information, and there is no reference to anyone around her or herself. That's trouble, okay? 2 years old, on the end of a dock, that's trouble. 1 year old, sitting on the side of the picnic table, and there's no humans around, that's even bigger trouble. Okay, what is she doing out there all by herself? What we do is we take the person through 3 memories and this inventory in a very specific order. And at the end of the 3rd memory, we are in a memory that that person has no memory of. Okay? Because when we started the first memory and used the 5 senses, we opened a new neural pathway back to the base of the brain where the senses are located, in the mini brain or the little brain, okay? And we started working forward. Now, amnesia and that blocked original neural pathway is up in front of that, okay? We went around to the back part. So we took a detour back to the back where the amnesia is not protecting the memory we're trying to find. And all of a sudden, we're in that 3rd memory, and the missing information from the first 2 memories starts to come forward, starts to make sense, okay? Like the black all the way down the left side. How do you get black in the middle of the daytime, okay? Well, here's where we were. It was time to take a nap, and every day, Grandpa...
Yeah, we're out of time, so.
And Grandpa would take her into the bedroom, put her up onto the bed, and take this black curtain and close it over the window so it'd be nice and dark in there, and she could take her nap easier. And then they'd play secret. They'd play secret. And soon as she was up with the nap, they'd go someplace in the afternoon. Guess where they went a lot? It's summertime. They went to the carnival. They had cotton candy. Okay, do you see where this is coming from? She had no recall of this event occurring, which, as you can tell, happened many times. All right? Here's the key, gentlemen and ladies. Oh, there's no gentleman back there, so good. So now there's a gentleman in here. Here's the key to this. She now has full access to that memory, and she has the face of the person that's responsible for those acts. Now, we have her tell that person, Grandpa, anything she wants to say to him. And this is a fully grown 46-year-old adult, and she knows some cuss words. They can say anything they want to that person. They cannot, they cannot get up out of their seat, but they say everything they want. And when they're done, they can't think of anything more, we have them repeat a sentence. Grandpa, I love you and I forgive you. Okay? You're on your own, you freak. All right? I love you and I forgive you so I can love me and forgive me. And this massive inner peace comes over the person. This 46-year-old went from looking like 50, 55 to 30-something. She lost about 15 pounds off of her body, just the way she changed her posture. And she has never triggered in the last 12 years again.
Wow.
Cellular memory is amazing. She was able to break open that memory and recall everything in it. I was sexually abused at 3 months. Not only did I have the face of that person, but I could smell her. We were both naked on the bed, all right? She was pretending to birth me because she was my aunt and she wanted me to be her baby, not her sister. I could smell her. Right now, I can see her pubic hairs. I can see her nipples. I can see her pull me up between the legs and kiss me. All right? I have no memory of this prior to it happening, and I'm way over. And if you'd like to talk more about it, have a nice conversation about it, I am carrying a QR code on me that has a scheduling link in it for a confidential Zoom conversation after the event, because that's when it's really confidential. Trying to talk here is just not going to work. So that's what we do. Thank you.